This story really starts with government officials using a commercial app opposed to a secure government developed app. What are the risks that these officials are taking when they're using Signal to communicate what is perceptively classified information?
So there are a few things that are concerning with this. One is that we don't know if this was on government issued devices or personal devices. And obviously, your personal devices are much more susceptible to attacks, and every person who was on that text chain is a target. So even if Signal isn't compromised, their personal devices could be, and everything that's on those devices could be flowing off into enemy hands. But the other thing is, at least in the U.S., there are records requirements that all military operations have to follow, and Signal is as secure as Signal is. It doesn't meet the demands of those record requirements. So, that means that conversations are in place that aren't necessarily going to be recorded the way they should. And that information, the information that's being shared, is government property. Yeah, so just like any other military operation, the information being shared there is government property, and now there's no record of what was being said or why decisions were made.
So, have there been incidences of other information with that, while still sensitive, is lower level, but it's still leaked on these messaging apps such as WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, apps that would not be considered secure for sensitive information communication?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, even inadvertently, we've seen the stories repeatedly about how you can track secret military bases by people going running with their fitness watches, and uploading the information from there, from those watches to the cloud, and then suddenly that's available for everybody to see. So there are all kinds of things that happen, and it shouldn't, but it definitely happens. And in sometimes in a battlefield or in an emergency situation, you don't have any choice to do this.
So, in the current cyber warfare environment, we're seeing more advanced attacks, and like you said, each person on this communications chain has a device that could potentially be at risk. What steps do, say, Taiwanese or US officials need to take to ensure that these mistakes don't happen again and that sensitive information stays secure?
So communication should always be done on authorized government devices, and those government devices should be constantly going through audits, looking for malware, looking for intrusions, looking for the types of access that we worry about. So that's the first thing. Again, sometimes that's not going to be the case. There are exceptions where you may have to use your personal device in a field or whatever. And in cases like that, there should be strict guidelines from government offices about how and when that can be used and what level of information can be shared. We never want to disrupt military operations, when or slow them down because of regulations. But we always have to make sure you're being secure. It doesn't do you any good if you feel like you have to use your personal device in the battlefield and you're just sharing everything that you're sending to other people in the field with an enemy combatant. And that could literally be happening in any of these cases.